Hello students, today we will be discussing the question answers of the chapter 3 of history, that is life in rural areas. So let's get started. Okay, to start with we have multiple choice questions. So in the first one, when Britishers came to India, dash were self-sufficient unit. This is given in your first paragraph of the chapter, that is villages were self-sufficient units. Second one says dash was the main source of income for the Britishers. So it will be land revenue since agriculture was the main occupation at that time. Moving on to third one, we have the system of revenue collection was introduced by Cornwallis. So Lord Cornwallis, his name is associated with permanent settlement. Question number 4 says land under British rule became a dash commodity. So this is a direct line that is given in your book, that is saleable commodity. And moving on to question number 5, this says this was another crop which the peasants had to sow along with indigo. Now there are both these given in the book, so you can just mark both of them. But in the exam, you will not get both the options. So you just like mark two options for this one because cotton is also given and jute is also given. So you mark both of them. Okay, moving on to section B, we have to state true or false. The English East India Company wanted a regular source of income. That is absolutely true. The Rayatwari system was introduced in Bengal. That is a false statement because it was permanent settlement that was there in Bengal and Rayatwari system was introduced in South India. Number 3 says the company forced the peasants in Bengal to grow cash crops. That is true because cash crop indigo was part of cash crop, so the company it just like forced them to grow this. Number 4 says indigo cultivation was a capital intensive job. The problem lies in this word. It should be labor intensive, so this statement is false. Okay, moving on to section C, we have what was the situation in villages before the advent of the British. Meaning, when the before the Britishers they came to India, what was the situation? That is our question. Okay, it says you to start from here. This is your C1. When the British came to India, villages were self-sufficient units. Most of the things that the villagers needed were produced in the village itself, and the farmers owned the land he cultivated and could not be evicted. So we'll be marking it till this point. Okay, moving on to C2, we have why did the English East India Company need money? Why did the system of giving the revenue collection right to the highest bidder fail? So there are basically two questions that will be answering. First one says why did the company needed money? So here is the answer. This is your C2. The company needed money to purchase goods in India and export them and to run administration, to maintain an army and to fund numerous wars that they fought both in India and abroad. So you will be just like marking this will be the answer for the first part of the question. So then the next part is when it says okay, the company gave the right to collect revenue from the area to the highest bidder. You'll be writing okay. Then so the company never got full amount, the bidding amount. Okay, you will be writing this. You just change the paragraph from there and start with this. This system failed as bids were made for an amount much more than that the land could actually produce. So the company never got the full amount. The bidding amount also varied from. You can just like write till this point only. This is also C2. That is the second part of the question that we discussed. Okay, moving on to C3, we have why did the peasants borrow money from money lender? So what was the need that they had to borrow money? So for this we have to go to the paragraph which is related to which is discussing the condition of this. Okay. Okay, so demands of the failure we just have the company's revenue demands failure of crops, costly social customs such as marriages and forced to force the peasant to sell the part of. You will be writing from here. This is your C3, I suppose. This let me just check it again. Okay, this is C3. So you'll be marking, you'll be starting from here. The company's revenue demands failure to crop. Okay, force the peasant to sell the part of their land or borrow money from the village money lender. You'll be writing this as part of your C3. Okay, C4. Why did Britain need indigo? What caused Britain to encourage its cultivation in India? So for this we have to move to this part, which is a case study related to indigo. Okay, cultivation of cash crops. And okay, the industrial revolution had revolutionized the textile industry. Okay, you will be starting from here. This is your C4. Start from here. The industrial revolution had revolutionized the textile industry of England. This increased the demand further. Britain needed indigo to dye cloth. Okay, all right. Hold on a second. We will start from here only. Since it is direct given here, so this is part of our C4. This is C4, so you'll be starting from here. The Britain needed indigo to dye clothes. Since climate in England was not, you'll be writing the first part as this one, and the second part. What caused Britain to encourage its cultivation in India? So you will be starting from here. That is the collapse of indigo plantations in these regions. Okay, hold on a second. Import in other place, particularly West Indies, North America. The collapse of indigo plantations in after in you will be writing the name of these two countries, West Indies and North America. During the late 18th century, forced Britain to look for supplies from other areas. So, second part, the answer to the second part of the question will be the collapse of indigo plantations in West Indies and North America during the late 18th century forced Britain to look for supplies from other areas. So you don't have to write these parts, these two words. Instead of them, you will be writing the name of these two countries, West Indies and North America. Okay, moving on to next section, we have D section, which is question number 1 says, what were the main features of permanent settlement? Okay, so this is a direct question. We move to the part which is related to permanent settlement. Okay, so here it is. Okay, Cornwallis, its main features are as follows. Okay, you'll be starting from here. This is your D1. The revenue to be collected from area was fixed permanently. You'll be writing this point. Local zamindar was asked to collect revenue from the peasants. Fixed amount, the more could keep the surplus amount. Okay, so what you do is you just like write the second point till this point. This will be the second point, and then we have, okay, all right. Land would be given to, okay, so since there is no third point, so what you'll be doing is you simply write these two full points. So you will be starting from here. Okay, so given to another zamindar, so our question becomes, you start from here and you write this point, then you write this point, and then you finish up with this zamindar. That is for, okay, so our final answer comes out to be, you have to start from here. You start from this point, that is you start from here, and you'll be writing till zamindar. Okay, moving on to next question we have. Uh, okay, we were in section D. How was Mahalwari system different from the Rayatwari system? So in this case, first we'll be writing about Mahalwari system, and then we'll be writing about Rayatwari system. So Mahalwari system, okay, you start from here. Parts of UP, in these areas, land was commonly owned by a group of mahals. The task of collecting revenue company was given to the admin of each mahal. Okay, all right. So you just like write this paragraph. Then you will be writing about Rayatwari system. Madras and Bombay, under this system, the farmer was recognized as the owner of the land and yet paid to land revenue. Also, we will just have to make it a little bit smaller. Okay. So you just like write till this point, that is soil. So you just start from here. First, you will be writing this paragraph, and then you will be starting with changing paragraph. You can. There is no need to draw a table in this one, so you can just like write straight forward these two. Okay, moving on to next question, we have discuss the impact of land revenue settlements on peasants. So land revenue, that is, we just again come to this paragraph which is related to impoverishment of peasantry. So we will be starting from here, impoverishment of peasantry. Okay, most of the peasants survived on small incomes. So you start from here. This is your D4. Let me just check. Okay, this is D3. This is D3. Okay, British rule, most peasants survived on small income since they considered as their mother, they were always, and borrowing money from moneylender was the only option left. So what you do is, as part of this, you will be writing this paragraph only. So that is your answer to D3. Then we have the next one, that is D4. Why did the indigo cultivators revolt in Bengal and was their movement successful? So for this, we just like come to the paragraph which is related to indigo cultivation. Okay, all right. So we will be starting. Okay, so for this one, we will be starting from here. Paid cultivators became less and less. Our question is, why did the indigo cultivators in Bengal revolted? Okay, could so only indigo. The planters. Okay, you start from here. This is your D4, I suppose. Okay, this is D4. So we start from here. The planters and cultivators suffered under this exploitative system. Then you strike out these lines. They are not necessary. ये आपको लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Highlighted the atrocities committed by the indigo planters and okay. Then you continue. The indigo was not free to sow crops and you came to be okay. So let me just repeat this again. You will be starting from here and you don't have to write these 4 lines. You start from here and you write till this point. Though this is a little bit longer, but the thing is, these are the questions that are there in long answers only. So in 3 marks, I think that much would be sufficient. Okay, all right. Now moving on to the horse question, we have excess production of cash crops actually led to a situation where the farmers had money with them and yet they could not buy food grains. Why did such a situation arise? Basically, it is saying that they had money which they earned through the cash crops, but at the same time, they were not able to buy food grains since there was a shortage of it. So you'll be writing this answer as so this will be the basic answer of this. Okay, all right. So the answer to the first horse question would be okay. For the fifth one, you will be writing this from here. This was because there was shortage of food grains because they were forced to grow cash crops. So they had just like since they never just like cultivated the food grains, so there was a shortage of food grains. So this you will be writing your answer as the for the fifth question, that is the horse question. Okay, sixth one says not a chest of indigo reached England without being stained with human blood. In the sense it is basically asking us about the condition of the cultivators in India. Comment on the condition of indigo cultivators in context of the above statement. So for this, though we have already talked many things about this thing, but for the sake of this answer, we'll be writing the condition of the farmers under the system was really bad, as they had money but could not buy food grains since there was shortage of it. It stands here for the food grains. So since there was shortage of food grains, so they could not buy it. Okay, now the B part says, do you think that by shifting base from Bengal to Bihar, the problem of indigo cultivators could be solved? Give reasons to support your argument. So in that case, you will be writing that was a temporary relief. The exploitative policy of the Britishers continued in the sense that the exploitation was temporarily stopped, but at the same time, they just continued. Okay, there was one more thing that I just want to tell you. In question number 4, though we talked about this part, for this part, this was their successful, there were movements successful, so you'll be writing the answer as yes. Okay, that would be all for this. We will be continuing with the next class. If you have got any doubt, then you just let me know in the class.